It's Saturday, and as many of you know, 6 days I write, and the seventh day I rest. For this Easter week, though, I'm recording a video of the most popular post from the week. It's entitled, "Which Rich Are You?" Pope Francis dies this week. He is rich on paper. His net worth is estimated at 16 million. He's also rich toward others. He refuses to accept his 32,000 a month salary while instead asking that it be given to the poor. And so in our reading for today, my text is, "There was a certain rich man." Jesus tells two stories about the rich in our readings for today. In Jesus' first story, he describes a master, God, who decides to fire his wealth manager. Before getting fired, the manager gives away some of his master's money by forgiving some of the debt of the master's debtors. Rather than criticizing the manager, the master compliments him. "I say unto you, make to yourselves friends of the mammon of unrighteousness, that when you fail, they may receive you into everlasting habitations." Luke 16:9. The master, God, owns the money. He gives it to us to manage. He wants us to manage it honestly. That's why he fires the manager. He also wants us to manage it generously. That's why he compliments the manager. Being rich, having God's money to manage, makes it possible for us to be rich toward others. Being rich toward others in this life makes it possible for us to enter into everlasting habitations of the next life. Jesus tells a second story about another rich man given much money to manage. The second rich man chooses to spend it on himself. He is clothed in purple and fine linens and fared sumptuously every day. Rather than sharing with Lazarus, who sits begging outside his gate, the rich man leaves Lazarus care up to the dogs. Jesus ends both stories by suggesting that each of us must choose which rich to be. No one can serve two masters. Either you will hate the one and love the other, or you will be devoted to the one and despise the other. You cannot serve both God and money. For Jesus, we must choose whether we want to be rich on paper or rich toward others. There was a certain rich man in Jesus' day. There is a rich country today. We are called the United States of America. The average person in South Sudan lives on an income of $455 a year, less than $1 a day. That's not us. As of 2023, our average income here in the United States amounts to about $39,982. Compared to the rest of the world, anyone rich enough to read this article is rich, at least on paper. We can't change where we are born in a rich or a poor country. We can, however, decide who we will be. We can switch rich our where. We can which we can't switch rich our where. We can which rich our will be. Will we be the rich country who makes friends with our master's money? Or will we be the rich country who leaves the poor outside our gates to languish? Both President Biden and J.D. Vance visit with Pope Francis, both when men self identify as Catholic. In my opinion, though, former President Biden represents the witch rich our country has been. J.D. Vance represents the witch rich country we are becoming. One Catholic seems to want to be rich toward others. The other seems more committed to be rich on paper. What do you think? There are religious reasons for us to share our wealth as a country. Could I even say that there are Catholic Pope Francis reasons? There are also practical reasons. The manager in Jesus' story doesn't get a compliment for being moral. He gets a compliment for making friends with money. Maybe we should try it. Sharing our wealth with other countries is not only the right thing, it is a wise thing to do. Sharing our wealth in our own country also makes sense. There are pious and practical reasons for our country to be rich toward others. There are also personal reasons. I'm not rich, or I am rich, not billionaire rich, just white male home owning in a safe neighborhood rich. I am also a Christian. I try to build my life around the lessons of a book called the Bible. That Bible in Luke 16 tells me that when Lazarus dies, the poor beggar in Jesus' story, angels bring him to Abraham's bosom. Abraham, significantly, is the father of not only my faith, but of three great faiths: Islam, Judaism, and Christianity. We all take our cue from Abraham's commission. Abraham is rich on paper, very wealthy in livestock and in silver and gold, Genesis 13:2. Abraham is also commissioned to be rich toward others. Muslims, Jews, and Christians who read their sacred scriptures all know that Abraham is blessed to be a blessing. Genesis 12, 1-3. A rich man on paper dies in Jesus' story. A rich man towards others dies this week. Which rich do you want to be?